KC9VKV checking New York SDR.
KC9VKV checking New York SDR.
Checking PA SDR.
Checking PA SDR.
Hello, it's Jim, K1GZL.
Charlie, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Well, hello, you're 9 to 10 over direct. Of course, we're on standard time. You're doing very, very well. Direct, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, I got all them forces moving your way as best as possible, Roger.
Way as best as possible, Roger.
Okay. How am I doing in Milford? I imagine that's the best one, right?
Yes, sir. You're 40 over.
You're 40 over.
My gosh, I'm only running about 300 watts out. That's all I can run, 300 watts out. Go ahead.
Roger, well, I think they're all coming down right there on that one SDR, Roger.
Right there on that one SDR, Roger.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad it's available. I'm glad it's available, Jim. By the way, it's about 32 degrees out, and there's only about 1 inch of snow on the ground. 1 inch of snow, and it's cloudy. It is overcast. Expecting a little light snow late tonight. It won't amount to anything. And then on Sunday, it could be a nice day. Get up to about 40 degrees. Go ahead.
Roger, your driveway looking clear?
Roger, your driveway looking clear?
Yeah, there's a little snow on it, but the nurses have gotten up it very, very well. And the ground itself, the driveway itself is pretty frozen.
Roger, you have any accumulation on your antenna elements?
Elements?
No, the antennas are clear. The antennas are totally clear. If I had a wet snow on there, it would be trouble loading. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Let's see. What is your normal SWR, and what is it today?
SWR, what is it today?
Well, right now I'm using a tuner. I am using a tuner, and it's 1-to-1 on the tuner. But without the tuner, I'm about on this frequency about 4.5 to 1. 4.5. So the antenna is not matched very well at all. My worst antenna. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. But then, on the other hand, it's your best antenna down towards Australia, Roger?
Towards Australia, Roger?
No, that's the 20-meter antenna. The one toward Australia right now that I'm using occasionally is the 20-meter quad. That is aimed right into Melbourne, Australia. And it does a terrific job down there. However, on 40, this is the antenna I used to work VK3MO on, the one I'm on right now. Even with its bad mismatch, I used to get terrific reports in the early morning down there, right here on 40, but down a little lower in frequency. Go ahead.
Roger. Now, just explain to me here just for a minute. General license gives you opportunities to work above this frequency and below these frequencies?
These frequencies?
Well, the general license, I think, is above 175. 7170 or I think 7175. And the extra is down to 7125, 7125. However, on 80 meters, the extras get an extra 100 kc from 36 to 3700 on phone, 36 to 3700, and then the advanced, which I am, the advanced class goes from 7125 up, and I think 7175 up is the general class, if I remember right, but sometimes my memory gets messed up at 91 years of age. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, mine gets confused from time to time, and I'm not that, well, anyway. Charlie, good to have you aboard, sir. We'll be hitting the air in about two minutes or so.
About two minutes or so.
Okay, we'll be standing by. Craig, are you on by chance?
This is KC9VKV with just a heads up. The regular Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net will be starting in a minute at 3:30 on this frequency.
At 3:30 on this frequency.
By the way, you were almost 20 over direct. 20 over direct. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, I was wondering when it would come back and be like it was before. Roger, Roger. It looks like it's headed that way.
Looks like it's headed that way.
Yeah, that's the only problem is late at night. I lose all the stations in Pennsylvania. They skip over. Pretty quickly. However, I'm looking forward to getting something up on 75 meters. Although I'll always have this antenna, hopefully on 40 K1CZL.
Roger, Roger, sir.
Roger, Roger, sir.
And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time?
Traffic at this time.
And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. We also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature, philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition, we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to a local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GCL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
The copy?
No copy. You're running 10 to 20 over direct, as I do not have the capability of an SDR. I wonder if you're copying okay there. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie, still 40 over in the PASDR.
The PASDR.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Jim. I have to, first of all, test for modulation purposes. Here's a little continuation of the VK2 Charlie Pacific Charlie, and this is when he was experimenting with low power, and he was north of Sydney, Australia by, I guess, 150 miles or so, near the east coast of Australia. And here it is. Wait a minute. I hope.
6 to a 7 with me. 6 to a 7. But yeah, 12 watts is working fine, over.
Okay, here we go. All right, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're still up to about a 3 with me. 3. The audio has dropped quite a bit, but the signal strength's still around the 3. Hang on a minute. If we're going to play this, hang on. Let me have a play. Wait a minute. I'll just put it back to you for a minute, and I'll knock this off. And I know I'll go down to about 5 watts in a minute. So just give us a minute. Right, and I'm now running on about 5 watts. 5 watts. Can you still copy me over?
Yes. Sorry about that delay here.
Yeah, I can still copy you. Hang on. What am I on now? I'm on, no, I'm not. I'm not telling you the truth. I was on 10. I'm going to knock it down. Hang on. But anyway,
Yeah, he was playing with the power. The power here. He was running just under 400 watts to a step IR antenna, which I think is 3 or 4 elements on 20 meters. Okay, he should be back in here, I hope. Boy, I don't know what's delaying things here, unless something happened with this the recorder. Wait a minute. I'll give it a couple more seconds. I don't know what's going on here. Well, for some darn reason, it stopped. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I thought I had a little bit more of him on there. Okay, Jim, I hope you copied that okay. KC9VKV, K1GZNL.
Roger, I copied it till it wasn't there. But it sounded good when it was, Roger.
Okay, Jim, thank you very much. Well, look, Jim, I'll let you go there. I'll let you go, and we'll catch you on next Friday, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. That's quite remarkable. I thought I had everything on this tape. Yeah, boy. He had a very good one.
Can you still copy me over?
Yeah.
6 to a 7 with me. 6 to a 7. But yeah, 12 watts is working fine, over.
Okay, there he was before. I don't know what happened on that other tape, but he was really blasting in here. Okay, Jim, this is always a pleasure working you there. In the meantime, over the next week, I'll get back on 20 and see what else is coming in. And if I get anything exotic, I'll try to record it. By the way, health-wise, I'm feeling very good. And I hope that continues. And yes, we have to test for audio or we don't get out of the backyard. 73, Jim, thank you. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, gosh, good to hear you're in good health, and we pray that continues. 73 up that way, sir. As always, a great show. Thank you. And I'll see you next Friday, hopefully, if the creeks don't rise. This is just a reminder, this is a Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. Let's see, and then we'll post this up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And now that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series. So without further ado, let's open it up and see who we've got out there. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilowatt 3 Alpha Charlie.
Kilowatt 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilowatt 3 Alpha Charlie K3AC.
Roger, AEC, and what's the name there?
Yeah, you got a copy on me, Jim? This is K3AC.
Roger, AC, what's the name there, please?
Yeah, name is Bob, Boston Ocean, Boston. We're located in southeastern Pennsylvania, 30 miles northeast of Philadelphia. Over.
Roger, Bob, and what radio are you running today, sir?
We're running a Yaesu FTDX 101 Mike Papa 101 MP. Over.
Roger, Bob. If you would like a setup, we would start with you being sure that you're in that wide transmit band mode, Roger.
Negative. We're not in wide transmit band mode. We are in 100 to 2900 hertz. Over.
Roger. Well, that's referred to in many instances as wide, and that's the one that we were referring to. That gives you just a little bit of slice of daylight before you start hoeing in somebody else's garden, Roger.
Okay, Jim, I'm not copying you too well. You're about S5 to 6, this is the standard maximum bandwidth. However, this radio is capable of extended single sideband of 4 kilohertz wide, but we narrowed it down for you. Over.
Roger. Now I have an excellent 20-over copy on you on the PA SDR. Roger, you must be right next door to that SDR up there in Pennsylvania, Roger. That's the one we're using.
Yeah, is that Milford, Pennsylvania? Over.
Yes, sir. Do you live in Milford?
No. I'm
probably about 150 to 200 miles away from Milford. I'm in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. If you look on the map, draw a line between right off of the Delaware. Trenton, New Jersey, right off of the Delaware River. Over.
Roger, Roger, where you're really hot in Milford. Hey, if you've got just a minute, I want to try something, Roger.
I want to try something, Roger.
Yeah, okay, we're standing by KC9VKV from K3AC.
Roger, now, are you pretty familiar with your equalization menu?
With your equalization menu?
We are not running internal equalization. We are running external using a external EQ box with a accentuation in the 2 kilohertz to 2500 kilohertz audio frequency. Over.
Roger. Now, do you have, you've got all those notations written down so you can come back to them? I wanted to try an EQ setup just out of curiosity. It has to do with using a certain word that I'm looking at on a spectrum analyzer, and I believe I can set an EQ just by that word because it's a multi-frequencied word, and there's multi-frequency content in the word, and I'm looking to maybe just use that word as a setup word. Roger, Roger.
Word as a setup word. Roger, Roger.
The EQ on this radio is very complex. It's parametric, and we have attempted to set it up using, it involves several adjustments, and frankly, the sideband audio, I've had better reports with external EQ. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, your EQ is just spot on. It's just perfect. I was just going to conduct a test if you had the ability to return back precisely to where you are after we had conducting our test. But I understand if it's not broke, you don't want to fix it. Now, I understand that completely. I was just looking for an experiment. Roger?
I was just looking for an experiment. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Okay, Jim, we'll appreciate the report. And we are running a little bit over 1,200 watts here into a 40-meter double bazooka, which we just erected. And you are second contact with it. It's not completed. While we wanted to hook it up and try it, we had a nice conversation earlier with a station in Virginia and second contact. So thank you very much, and appreciate your audio help there with everybody checking in, and we will listen on the vlog tomorrow when you post our QSO. So back to you, KC9VKV from K3AC.
Yes, sir, Bob. Well, best laid plans of mice nor men. I just went to do something, and I did lose my my Milford SDR, and I don't know why that is. Let me see if that brings it back. No. Anyway, all right, Bob, 73, sir. Thank you very much. And like I say, you're spot on. I did have some difficulties myself right there at the end of that transmission. I bumped my my app, and I can't. It's like washing hair. I can't do a thing with it. But let's see now. I think I've got it now, Bob. Come back just for a moment, if you would.
Okay, Jim, you're peaking at about S7 here, between a 5 and a 7, and this antenna has a fairly low background noise, a double bazooka, which it's known for, and we have it, well, we wanted to do a flat top, but it's kind of sagging in the center, so we're going to try to get a support up there and pull it up a little bit so it's more like an inverted V. The ends are up at about 60 feet. The center is down at about 45. So there you go. And that's the story there. We have kind of a cloudy raw day. Raw day here. Like 50 degrees. We had some very nice weather this past week. But getting into fall, and soon we'll be getting into the colder weather there. So we'll turn it back there to you, Jim. KC9VKV from K3AC.
Roger, Bob. Just beautiful audio there, and I've got my PA SDR back and running. Yeah, you're back. Right, just perfect. I'm sure you will enjoy your recording. And go to YouTube, do a call to search KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. And this will be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. 73, Bob, thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Delta 4, Alpha, Ocean's in it.
Yes, sir. Ocean Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Ocean Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please. Kilo Delta 4, Alpha, Ocean, Zebra.
Alpha Ocean Zebra, Roger, and what's the name there?
Alpha Ocean Zebra, Roger, and what's the name there? Name here is Jeff.
Roger, Jeff, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Jeff, and where are you located, sir? I'm in Watkinsville, Georgia.
Roger, that's why you sound so beautiful. I'm using the Georgia SDR. You look to be about 20 over there, so I have a perfect copy on you. What radio are you running today?
What radio are you running today? I'm running an ST520 Kenwood.
FT520, Roger, Jeff. Sounds really good. Why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, and let me look at your audio for a minute.
The best thing you like about your radio, and let me look at your audio for a minute. Okay, yeah. Well, the best thing I like about it is I picked it up Saturday at the Handfest for $50, and I managed to get it working. It seems to be a pretty good radio.
Yes, sir. Check your frequency real close. It just might be a skosh off, just a skosh. We're on 718800, Roger.
We're on 718800, Roger. Roger. Is that better? I may have bumped it when I turned around there.
Roger. It sounded like it might have been just a tad hot, and I'm not sure now. That thing's got a freak readout on the menu, Roger. You're 7188.
A freak readout on the menu, Roger. You're 7188. No, it's an ST520.
Yes, sir. Is that's an older radio?
Yes, sir. That's an older radio? Yeah, it's one of the older hybrid ones. It's got the 10 finals.
Okay, so I think you might have gone the wrong way, and if you were frequency compensating your VFO, try it the other way. Roger?
Oh, try it the other way. Roger? Roger. Is that better right there?
No, it still sounds a little off. It's not majorly so, but it's just slightly off, and I can't tell which way it is, Roger.
Off, and I can't tell which way it is, Roger. Oh, Roger, is that better? I think that's it right there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got it there, bud.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got it there, bud. Yeah, like I said, I just picked this thing up Saturday, and I only give the guy $50 for it, so I guess it's working.
Yes, sir. That's probably the best $50 you've spent in your life, Roger.
Yes, sir. That's probably the best $50 you've spent in your life, Roger. Yeah, it seems to be doing pretty good. There's two of them there. I bought this one, and about the other one, and both of them seem to be. Just had to tinker with them a little bit. They both seem to be working.
Yes, sir. Well, that one sounded good. Now it is on frequency. You might make a note of the difference of what you thought it was and what it is. It is now sounds pretty much dead on, Roger.
It is now sounds pretty much dead on, Roger. Roger. Okay. I'm just getting used to tuning it. Like I said, the tubes seem to be okay. It seems to be putting out plenty of power and everything. Like you said, it sounds. Everybody says it sounds great.
Yes, sir. Now tell me about your antenna. What kind of antenna are you running?
Yes, sir. Now tell me about your antenna. What kind of antenna are you running? I'm just running an inverted V. Out here, I had some laying around the house here. Ladder line, and it's up about 40 foot. It's just it's like a G5 RV, and it's just an inverted V.
Roger that. Well, it's doing you a real good job. I mean, as far as I'm like I said, I'm copying the mail in Georgia, so I'm probably about the closest to you. I'm coming out of Simmons Island, Georgia. You know where that is?
Coming out of Simmons Island, Georgia. You know where that is? No, I don't. Oh, is that where the SDR station is?
Yes, sir. It's Simmons Island, SDR. Roger.
Yes, sir. It's Simmons Island, SDR. Roger. Okay. That's south of here, I imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be within your probably ground wave. Since it's an island, I'm assuming it's on the coast. And since it's on the coast, how far are you off from the coast, Roger?
Since it's on the coast, how far are you off from the coast, Roger? Okay, I wish you hadn't asked me. It's 100 miles or better to the coast.
Roger. Well, that was about the same way I was copying a gentleman just recently here. He was 120 miles or so away from that SDR, which was in his home state. So maybe 120 miles is kind of ideal for being removed from the SDR distance-wise, Roger.
Removed from the SDR distance-wise, Roger. Oh, Roger. Okay. Yeah, I have a 7300 Kenwood now. I think it'll do that. I need to set that up one day. I want to set that up one of these days.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at your transmission right now, and it's just beautiful. That radio's about 3 dB dynamic range with the microphone that you're using right now. So I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger.
Right now, so I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Roger. Right. I'm using an old. I think it was an old GE microphone. Probably from the late 50s. It was an old GE radio, Land Mobile radio microphone. And it's a Shure Brothers microphone, and it seems to be a good one.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. I would have never known that it was a handheld. It sounds every bit like a table mic, Roger.
It sounds every bit like a table mic, Roger. Okay, well, very good. Well, they use the same element in the desk mic for the GE used in the GE uses a high impedance mic, where Motorola uses a low impedance mic, and these radios tend to like a high impedance mic better.
Yes, sir. Well, whatever it is they like, you're giving it to them, Roger, because it sounds just perfect.
Whatever it is they like, you're giving it to them, Roger, because it sounds just perfect. Okay. Well, let's carry on and find somebody else. I was tuning through and heard you and figured I would at least get a check. But thank you for that.
Roger, Jeff, 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and you'll love your recording. Go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that will bring up this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger. Roger.
Give me your call sign again. I went to write it down and didn't have a pen.
There you go. Okay, it's Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Repeat, Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger?
9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I just couldn't find a pistol right quick. All right, sir. I'll try to catch you again sometime, okay?
Yes, sir. Love to have you. If you join us next Friday, we'd love to have you for sure. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November, Romeo, Oscar. November, Romeo, Oscar.
Radio November, starting with November something, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November, Romeo, Oscar.
November Romeo Oscar, one more time on your call sign, please.
One more time on your call sign, please.
Kilo, Charlie, 9, November, Romeo, Oscar. Kilo, Charlie, 9,
Okay, I copy it as Kilo Charlie 9, November Romeo Oscar. Is that a Roger?
November Romeo Oscar, is that a Roger?
Okay, November Romeo Oscar. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system so I can look around for a better path for us, Roger?
Around for a better path for us, Roger.
Indianapolis, Indiana, and that's the location.
Okay, November Romeo Oscar, I've got you on my local antenna. And so now, if you would, why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio in about 10 to 15 seconds so I can listen to you just for a moment.
I've done some experimenting with a new homebrew microphone. This is a small 20-watt radio. It's an FX-4CR. FX-4CR. Currently I'm running 4 watts. I'm driving an Aircheck KXTA 100 amplifier.
Okay, I copy that as FS4CR. Is that a Roger?
QSL Foxtrot X-Ray-4 Charlie Romeo.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there?
FX-4CR. Name here is Greg.
Okay, Greg, and what's your location again?
Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis, Indiana.
Roger that, sir. And I think you may be a little hot into your ALC. Let's just check a couple of things. Does that have a variable bandwidth, transmit bandwidth, or is that fixed?
It's got very limited menu items. It does have a transmit bandwidth. I have it set on 3K, 3 kilohertz.
Okay, why don't you try, do you have 100 to 2900? 100 to 2900, do you have that?
Stand by, I'll look in the menu real quick. The menu's just got like 1 through 5, so let me glance at the menu real quick.
Repeat that last.
The menu is 0 through 5, so I had to grab a manual real quick. So choices are 1.5, 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, and 3 kilohertz.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's try. Does it have a compressor limiter?
There is a new menu item that just came out with a firmware release. It's TX-AF Comp, which that might be a limiter. I don't know. I haven't experimented with it yet.
Okay, you're a little hot into your ALC. So what I want you to do is, you've got an ALC meter, Roger?
I don't believe it has ALC that I can see. I do have a mic gain control, currently set on 30.
Okay, do you have an ALC reading on your meter? Do you have an ALC reading on your meter?
Negative. This is just a basic Chinese radio, $550, so 20-watt radio, so no ALC reading that I can see on a meter. Just an F meter and a power out.
Okay, what I want you, and where is your microphone reading at the moment? What's your microphone level at the moment?
30.
Okay, take it to 20. Take it to 20.
Copy, I've changed it to 20, changed my mic gain to 20.
It doesn't change the peaks very much. The distortion isn't quite as bad, but the peak is still there. And I'm surprised it doesn't have an ALC reference. How did they tell you to set your mic level?
They don't give too much information. This radio is designed and built by one person. His name is GG2FX, and he does respond to questions, but his English translation is limited.
Roger. Well, it's a little distorted. It seems to be about right at the moment 3 dB dynamic range, but it does have a little peak distortion to it, Roger.
Yes, sir. If you stand by, and I'll switch to the factory microphone.
Oh, yes, sir. Do that.
Okay, the factory microphone is just a very small, basic electric microphone, and we'll see if this one sounds any different.
Yes, sir. It doesn't have the distortion quite like the other one. I think we could work with that one. Do you have an onboard EQ system?
Negative, no equalization at all. You've got a mic level. And there is the new menu item I have in the screen with TXAF comp. I could play with that one a little bit, see if that's focused.
Does that mean you do have some equalization capabilities?
I do not know. There's only one menu item that recently showed up with the last firmware adjustment. It's called TXAF COMP, so I'm assuming it's transmit audio comp, is what I'm thinking.
Yes, sir. Do you have that installed that we could check it out, or do you have to set that up yet?
I'll go in the menu real quick and I'll pick it up by a value of 10. We'll see if that changes. Stand by.
The other thing I was going to ask you, Greg, is is it putting out what it said it's supposed to put out, or is it exceeding its capabilities?
It does seem to match pretty good when I pick it up to a watt meter. Again, I've got it back down to 4 watts, and I'm driving an Aircheck KXPA 100 amplifier, so it's doing anywhere from 70 to 100 watts.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Yeah, that transmit AF comp, I did boost it up by 10 to a value of 20. Any difference?
Seems to be not quite as distorted, Roger.
QSL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But I imagine your output has dropped drastically. Is that a Roger?
Well, it seems like it. When I look at my meter on my amp, I'm doing about 70 watts peak. I think I was doing 100 watts peak.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe we could try to sharpen up that EQ a little bit, put the EQ point a little higher and roll off some of the bottom, and therefore maybe reduce some of the bass. But on the other hand, what you can do is back off the mic a little bit and then turn it up. back off the mic a little bit and then turn up the level, and that way you will defeat proximity effect. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I turned up the mic and I backed off to about 4 inches away from the microphone.
That's much better. Now go for 5 inches. Go for 5 inches.
QSL, we're at 5 inches now, straight on, 5 inches straight on.
Yes, and then bring your audio gain up, bring your mic gain up.
5 inches at an angle.
And bring your mic gain up a little bit.
Now raise the mic gain to 35. Mic gain has been raised to 35, 5 inches away from the microphone. 5 inches away from the microphone.
Roger, bring your mic gain up some more.
Mic gain is now at 40. Mic gain is at 40, 5 inches away from microphone. 5 inches away from microphone.
Roger, bring your gain up some more.
Mic gain is now at 50. Mic gain is now at 50, 5 inches away from microphone.
That sounds really good. Then the distortion is really minimal. So what I think was happening was you might have been overdriving the front end of that system, either the microphone or the down the line, because now that you've backed off the microphone and you've increased the gain of the microphone, it really sounds nice. Roger?
QSL, I'm going to try 5 inches, 5 inches. Now we're about at 10 inches. 10 inches, 10 inches. Now we're back to about 5 inches, 5 inches.
Yeah, I think I'd run with 5 inches, and your audio gain is at what?
50, 50. Mic gain is at 50.
Yes, I think I'd run it just like that, because I think you're achieving even a better level than where you were without the distortion. What does it look like your RF output is from that device?
Let me do some checking. Yeah, RF output has gone up. It's peaking at 110, every once in a while 110 on my Aircheck amp. So raising the mic gain has also driven the 100-watt amp a lot better.
Yeah, I would run it just like that. It does have a little bit of distortion in it, but nowhere near what it did when we first started, and you'll hear that in the recording if you want to hear your audio. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2800, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. It's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search. Roger?
Yeah, I've used that before with my Aircheck KX3. I talked to you about a year ago, and I appreciate your service you provide us.
Yes, sir. Well, like I say, it still does have some distortion, but it's cleaner than it was, and it's louder than what it was. So I would take it and run with it. And so 73 there, Greg, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Roger?
QSL, thank you for your time. Thank you for helping me adjust things. 73 KC9NRO.
Roger, Roger, NRO. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you want to check out, give me a shout.
Well, time now for another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. This segment, Antennas That Work. Well, after 6 years and over 2,800 Qso-Vlog setups and recordings, we've worked our way down to those that can really use our help. Folks that are running with bad antennas. That's precisely why many months ago, in addition to my local receiver, I started using 4 geographically chosen Internet SDR receivers. So I know that when my local receiver and all 4 of my SDR receivers are receiving a signal poorly, there are probable antenna issues involved. because I believe a 100-watt transmitter operating generally in the eastern part of the United States should show up at least as an S5 to S9 somewhere. If you're an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. Let me repeat that. If you're an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. So while I can technically set your transmitter up for optimal performance, if you are operating a poor antenna, you will not be getting out well. And the radio tuners do not really solve the problem. They only mask the problem so the radio will operate correctly. A bad antenna is still a bad antenna. So now you're on the air with a bad antenna. But the real name of the game is ERP over ADI. How well do you bring your effective radiated power over your area of dominant influence? Which is just a way of asking the question, how well are you getting out into the area that you wish to be heard? Now, we can blame poor performance on bad propagation till the cows come home, but if you're an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. I propose a change in your life, a great answer to an amateur's worst problem. It is the antenna that we've been using over the past 6 years here on Friday afternoons for our KC9VKV Qso-Vlog network. It is the resonant-tuned, no SWR, specifically oriented dipole antenna. Yes, it's a dipole antenna, but a resonant-tuned dipole antenna. Look, Ma, no antenna tuner. Because they are tuned, they have no SWR to deal with. You're straight out of your radio, fire to the wire. No conversion loss antenna tuner to deal with. You are max fire to the wire. So if you want to get out, get yourself on the air with a resonant-tuned, no SWR, specifically oriented dipole antenna. It would be one of the greatest gifts you could give your station. And no, we don't sell them, but you can Google plans for free, and they're easy to build. I hope this talk about resonant-tuned, no SWR specifically oriented dipole antennas will at least stir up some interest in building new, more effective antennas. Well, there you go. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to tune, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Broadcast frequencies are further up the band.
Japan November station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Charlie 0, India, Japan, November. KC9VKV, being here in Missouri, over.
India, November, Papa, is that a Roger?
India, November, Papa, is that a Roger?
India, Japan, November.
India, Japan, November, is that a Roger?
India, Japan, November, is that a Roger?
Roger that, roger that.
Roger, Roger, and you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger, and you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
Roger, Northeast Missouri, over.
Yes, sir, and what's the name there?
Yes, sir, and what's the name there?
We doubled, sir, what's the name there?
We doubled, sir, what's the name there?
Roger, Roger, Dan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Roger, Dan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm on the X20 right now, as we're speaking. I don't know anything that I need to do a little work to, but I'm off zip, which has about a little less than a 1.5 visual on it, over.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you on my Kentucky SDR right at the moment. Just got there, so I need to know what that radio is again. Can you repeat the model of the radio?
I need to know what that radio is again. Can you repeat the model of the radio?
10 the old 820 Kenwood, over.
20 Kenwood, is that a Roger?
20 820 Kenwood, is that a Roger?
820 Kenwood, 820 Kenwood, over.
820 Kenwood, Roger, Roger. And Dan, one more time, you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
Kenwood, Roger, Roger. And Dan, one more time, you're in Missouri, is that a Roger?
Roger that, here in northeast Missouri. A beautiful day, 61 degrees for November, over.
Ah, yes, sir. Well, you sound like you might be just a little hot into your ALC. What I would suggest is, do you have a variable frequency bandwidth? Can you put that on 100 to 2900? Can you do that, 100 to 2900 on a transmit bandwidth?
Can you do that, 100 to 2900 on a transmit bandwidth?
How did that improve things, over?
Okay, you're too hot into your ALC. I was trying to get there. Let's do that first. Go to your ALC and say the word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC level is at 2/3. Roger.
Until your ALC level is at 2/3. Roger.
How about that? Did that improve things?
Yes, sir. You're not anywhere near as distorted as you were. Okay, so also let's go ahead and set your limiter right now, your compressor processor at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on the compressor processor. Roger.
10 or 30 out of 100 on the compressor processor. Roger.
Roger. We got the compression about turned off on it. Over.
Okay, now look at your frequency. You sound a little bit high on the frequency. We're at 7188.00. 7188.00, Roger.
7188.00, Roger.
Roger. Well, the old VSO is a little fruity on this. It will drift some. Did that improve things?
Okay, now the ballistics are about right, but the EQ could stand some adjustment. So what kind of an equalizer do you have on that radio?
Adjustment. So what kind of an equalizer do you have on that radio?
Well, they're pretty basic. There ain't much for equalization, over.
Yes, sir. What do you have? What is it?
Yes, what do you have? What is it?
Well, explain to me what you're talking about equalization, over.
All right, tone control, equalization, that's a shaping of the sound of your audio. Roger, Roger?
Of the sound of your audio. Roger, Roger?
Roger, well, that's non-existent on these old girls. All we have is a mic gain and compression, over.
Oh, yes, but, see, that is the thing. We can control a lot of shaping of the audio curve by the way you work that microphone. If you were to pull back off that microphone about 3 inches additional from where you are, that would drop off that bottom end quite a bit. So let me hear you about 3 inches from further back from that microphone than what you were. Roger?
3 inches from further back from that microphone than what you were. Roger?
Roger, how's that looking? Does that improve things, over?
Yes, sir. Now I want you to, what's your current mic level? What is your current mic level?
What's your current mic level? What is your current mic level?
We got it at about 5. About 5 on the mic gain, about halfway up, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, take it up to 6 now that you've pulled back off the mic. Take it up to about 6.
Okay, take it up to 6 now that you've pulled back off the mic. Take it up to about 6.
Okay, there we go at 6. How's that sounding, over?
I think that sounds pretty good. Now, why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your antenna, Roger, what it is and what you like about it?
The best thing you like about your antenna, Roger, what it is and what you like about it?
Well, I've got 2 antennas for the HF band. My favorite one is that off-center fed zip. It's done a terrific job for me for about 5 years now. It's made out of that heavy stranded cable
antenna wire, and it works excellent. Low visual, which I like antenna with a low SWR. And then I got my 160 meter wire, about 133 foot on each leg. Works excellent on 160, and it does real nice here at 40 also.
Yes, sir. Okay, I want you to take it up. What is it now? And then we want to go a little bit more. Like, is it 50 now?
Again?
What is your mic level at the moment?
I got it right at 6 where you wanted it.
Yes, sir. Okay, take it up to 7. Take it up to 7 now, and let me listen to you.
Okay, there we go. 7. How's that sounding?
Take it back to 6.
There we go. Back to 6.
Okay, but remember we had backed off the mic a little bit?
Roger, I have backed off of it.
Okay, I think you sound good at 6 and backed off the mic, but you must remember to stay backed off the mic, because if you go back to where you were, 6 will be too hot, and you will be bottom heavy, Roger?
Roger that. Well, I do appreciate it. I don't get much of a chance to visit with people that have some knowledge of audio and radios, over.
Yes, sir. Well, we've been doing this for about 6 years. We have been doing this for about 6 years. And if you want to hear your audio and the change, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,800 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger that. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I've been... Roger that. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I've been hamming now for almost 30 years, getting awful close anyway, over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What, do you remember the first thing as a kid, what brought you into amateur radio? What you were thinking about as a kid when you got into amateur radio?
What you were thinking about as a kid when you got into amateur radio?
I absolutely can positively. I used to go over by an old depot station. If you know the train depot station, and the old depot agent was a ham radio operator, and he would let me stand and watch him. I can't remember exactly what he had for equipment, but he's the one who got me started on the code. And it was kind of hard to get away from. I started learning on a sounder box. A lot different than what you hear on the radio. But that's who got me interested in it. I was absolutely mesmerized by the magic of being able to talk to people other parts of the world and all over the country, over.
Yes, sir. And what was the first rig that you had?
Yes, sir. And what was the first rig that you had?
The first rig I had was a, it was an old Cleggy. I just can't, my memory ain't like what it used to be, but it was an old Cleggy, over.
Yes, sir. How much power output did you have for that radio?
Yes, sir. How much power output did you have for that radio?
Oh, it was pretty limited. I apologize, but my memory ain't what it used to be, but some things like the old depot agent Harold, it just sticks in my mind. I remember him getting me interested in it. But the Cleggy was the first radio, but and then I moved on to the Marine Corps, and that kind of ruined my hamming for quite a while, over.
Yes, sir. Do you remember the output tube in that first transmitter? What tube was that output tube in the first transmitter?
What tube was that output tube in the first transmitter?
I wanted to say an 811, but I can't remember. I think an 811, but I can't remember. Pretty simple little old radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, Dan, thanks for dropping by, bud. We appreciate that. And like I say, you've got to remember to stay back off that bike where you are now, because if you forget, you'll be over the top. Roger, Roger.
Forget, you'll be over the top. Roger, Roger.
Roger. So it's sounding pretty good now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have less bass, more top end, and so we've made this equalization adjustment without equalization. We've done it through your proximity to microphone, Roger.
We've done it through your proximity to microphone, Roger.
Roger. Well, when I get the 8:30 going, I got some work to do on that. I'll come by and we can visit again. Over.
Sounds great, bud. Love to have you. We're on 3:30 to 5 Friday afternoons, so just look us up on 7188. Love to have you. 73, Dan. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
By the way, the name was Dean. Delta Echo Alpha November. Dean, over.
Roger, Dean. Let me make that correction. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that. D-E-A-N, is that a Roger?
Correction. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that. D-E-A-N, is that a Roger?
Roger. Have a beautiful day, and thanks for the assistance.
Roger, Dean. 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Like that. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8, Uniform, America X-ray.
Station calling, come back one more time slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Station calling, come back one more time slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
I might be a bit off frequency. November 8, Uniform, America X-ray.
November 8, Uniform, America X-ray, is that a Roger?
November 8, Uniform, America X-ray, is that a Roger?
Yeah, it's a Roger. The radio's going to drift a bit. It's an ST-101. It's not fully warmed up. The name here is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. We've chatted before.
Roger, Mark, we'll grab hold of them reins and see if you can bring that 101 under control.
Reins and see if you can bring that 101 under control.
Yeah, I'm working at it. The display says 37,187. I'm going by the tone of your voice, so I don't know if so I should be a little bit low, I think.
Well, I don't know about your frequency. My frequency is 7188.00. 71.88.00.
71.88.00.
Or 7.188.00. Whichever. 188.00. Whichever.
It's a challenge, okay?
I'm sorry we doubled there, Mark. Come repeat.
I'm sorry we doubled there, Mark. Come repeat.
No, I'm sorry, excuse me. I said the FT-101 is a challenge. It has been a challenge. I've been working on it for a while, and I think it's okay.
Yeah, well, I got a bigger challenge than you got. I've got a Drake.
Challenge than you got. I've got a Drake.
You know, I got a TR3 outside that I've given up on. I think it has crystal issues.
Yes, sir. Well, I've tried to heat the VFO, and I've tried to cool the VFO, and just nothing works. It just wants to wander, Roger.
And just nothing works. It just wants to wander, Roger.
Okay. Well, I will say one thing. This FT-101 is a fine old radio. Has a fantastic receive, and this is a condenser microphone that's on it now. I'm running about half mic gain.
So just to give you an idea where it is. It's I can't tell where it's driving because it doesn't have a PEP meter. It just has an average meter. It's probably doing, I don't know, 160 watts maybe.
Roger, Roger. Well, it looks like the dynamic range is about 3 dB, which means your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Roger.
The peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. Roger.
Okay. Well, I was on the air on 80 meter a couple nights ago, and no one said turn the mic gain up or anything. So. And I've stayed away from the mic. You chewed me out already on my 7610. It's all set up. You said get away from that microphone. I want you to be 4 inches off that microphone. You're overdriving it. I still remember that. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, you win some, lose some, and some you know, if you don't have EQ, you know, to shape it onboard EQ, then you have to shape it acoustically. Roger.
Onboard EQ, then you have to shape it acoustically, Roger.
Yeah, there's not much I can do. This is a D104, but I've done a condenser mic conversion because the D104 cartridge is just horrible. It sounded like I was talking through my nose. That had to go. And that, I don't have this mic gain turned up very much on the mic, on the underneath on the D104. That's not, I think it's about 50%. And like I said, I'm 50% on the gain, and like I said, it's a Hamfest radio I got. It still has the plastic on the front. It's very clean, but it was seriously out of line.
Yes, sir. Now, so basically, you're running a Electret microphone, Roger, Roger.
Electret microphone, Roger, Roger.
Yeah, that's what it is, condenser microphone.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll give you a hint. This is all about a passive device that you can put on that Electret element that will boost the top end. It starts at about 1 kC and stair steps up quite a bit, so you have a better top end than flat. And by the time you hit 10 kC, you're plus 10. So it's a nice curve, and I call it my crisper. And this is I don't know if you know those phono jacks, the rubber piece that goes on a phono jack. Well, you take a razor blade and you cut the end off that phono jack, which gives you about a half-inch tunnel, and that tunnel just fits over that Electret element just perfectly, so you have about a 1/4 inch holding on to the element, and then you have about a 1/2 inch sticking out in front of the element as a round device. And this shapes the top end with a rising audio curve from 1 kC to about 6 kC, or you're probably plus 7. So it gives it a nice top end without having a electronic equalization. You do it passively, Roger.
Electronic equalization. You do it passively, Roger.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to apologize to you. My wife is just leaving. She walked into the room. I missed your description. Is it on your website?
No, it's just. Are you familiar with the rubber piece that holds a phono jack together on the outside?
That holds a phono jack together on the outside.
Rubber piece that holds a phono jack on the outside. I can't think of any rubber piece. There's a rubber piece that goes around the condenser microphone, but that's not in there right now. It's on foam. There's a spring that retains the cord. I can't place a rubber piece.
Okay, it's a protective sleeve that goes around most phono jacks. And that's what the wire comes through that goes into the jack. That's the outside cover of the jack. It's round, Roger.
That's the outside cover of the jack. It's round, Roger.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the mic connector. Sure, yeah. It's a protective. Keeps the wire from shorting on the case.
Yeah, but this is just just where you would just plug it into a phono connection, and you just pull that sleeve off, or you can get an extra sleeve or whatever, and you cut the tapering part off. So you just have a little tunnel of round about an inch long. And you can slip it over the microphone, and it just fits over that electret microphone for about a quarter of an inch, and then you have maybe a half an inch sticking out in front of that microphone, and it'll cause the acoustic top end to become enhanced, Roger.
The acoustic top end to become enhanced, Roger.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're megaphoning the microphone a bit.
Yes, sir, exactly. But the way that is, the precise tonality of it is just beautiful for hyping that front end up about 7 dB or so at 6 KC, and it goes on up. So it just is a nice pre-emphasis to your microphone when you don't have an onboard EQ gear, Roger?
To your microphone when you don't have an onboard EQ gear, Roger?
Oh, that's wonderful, and it's probably time. N8UAX. That's wonderful. I'm going to change. I bought some different foam, a nicer piece of foam that I'm going to cut a very clean hole. I got a hole punch, very clean hole. I will make sure I get that on here. That's wonderful. That's a great and simplistic method of changing it.
Yes, sir. Now you want to run a foam windshield, if you can, a foam wind blower, if you can, because it's it's subject to plosives if you work it tight. So if you do have a foam windscreen to slip over the, if you have one that'll slip over the whole top of the microphone, that would be the best way to do it, Roger.
For the whole top of the microphone, that would be the best way to do it, Roger.
Roger, yes. This has a foam, it has a windshield built into it. It's like cloth, because it's, like I said, it's a D104. It has that cloth piece, and I am staying away from it. I don't hear you don't hear me popping my piece, do you?
No, no. It's clear. I was just saying that usually with electret microphones, it's a good idea to get a foam windscreen on it, and the better idea is to put that foam windscreen over the whole mic enclosure. So what happens a lot of times is that you try to do it internally, and the problem is that you still have a mic grid or something in front of the mic that cause blow-by noises, But when you put that foam windscreen over the whole head of the microphone, there's nothing that's going to disturb it. You get just pure words coming out, Roger.
You get just pure words coming out, Roger.
Okay, I can do that. I can actually build one. Those are all great ideas, and I'm going to do them. And have we pretty much stayed on frequency?
No, you've drifted high a little bit, Roger.
No, you've drifted high a little bit, Roger.
Okay, I'll come down a bit. Doesn't say high. I'm dealing with old EQUALIZATION counter too. I got some stuff here that's just old stuff. I prefer to be appliance operator, but I got away from working on stuff, and then I retired, and now I'm starting back collecting, and I shouldn't be. But I'm going to move it down when you come back.
Yes, sir. You can get a free counter pretty cheap. That would really help you with that radio, Roger.
Pretty cheap. That would really help you with that radio, Roger.
Yeah, the only problem I have, I moved it a little bit. The only problem I have is that I have a free counter now. It has a frequency output for it. They do make, I think it's a YC601, I think is what I'm looking for. That would actually read it, but I don't know if it reads it when you just key, or it just reads it when you move the VFO. I don't know how that one works. This one only works when you have RF output. So this only works when I'm, making noise.
Yes, sir. Well, that's the time to adjust it. You know, you just set it on your radio there, and as you are transmitting, then you know what the where it should be, and you just bring it to that. Roger.
Where it should be, and you just bring it to that. Roger.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I always start that. What I usually do is I knock it into AM or tune and set the frequency there, and then I just adjust with the dial when I hear someone. So, you know, what can I say? It's an old radio. I'm spoiled. I got the 7610. I'm spoiled. But it has, like I said, it has a great receive, and the audio quality of people coming through it is wonderful. I see why the CBers like this thing.
Yes, sir, but gosh, 7610, I'd have to be split apart by horses not to run the 7610, Roger.
Be split apart by horses not to run the 7610, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I'm going to turn it on right now so I can say goodbye to you and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. 7610 is just my ideal of a beautiful, beautiful radio. You know, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I'm running a 7300, as most of the rest of the country is, that can't afford a 7610, Roger.
Most of the rest of the country is that can't afford a 7610, Roger.
Mark, you still there?
Mark, you still there?
Roger, do you copy now at all?
Just barely.
There we go. I found it.
Just barely.
Okay, well, I'll try it again. I've got the wattage now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think you might be crowding the microphone again, but you're back to where you were, Roger.
You might be crowding the microphone again, but you're back to where you were, Roger.
I'm sorry, I got all excited. It's a bad habit I have. But anyhow, this is the radio. You set this one up. I haven't touched anything. I haven't touched the thing. I didn't put any super glue on anything, but I haven't touched it. I have no cats that walk across the top of the table here, so there's nothing there, and my dogs are too short to even get close to the. They just about get to the first rung of the chair.
And which radio is that?
And which radio is that?
7610, 100 watts.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I think we've got it under control there, Mark. Let me say 73 to you, sir. And if you want to hear that radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, this will be cut number 1 on this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Okay, please give me your call one more time. Phonetically would help because you got a V and a K and a B, and B and V sound the same, and I probably wrote it down wrong.
Yes, sir. Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Repeat, Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
9, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Okay, and you said go to call sign and go to YouTube. I would like to hear the FT101. I've heard this one already, and I got to see if I can remember how to do that. But very, very nice of you. Very kind again, and I appreciate it. I appreciate what you do, and there's so many other folks out there that I'm sure they appreciate what you do. And I just ran across you by accident again. I said, okay, let's see if I can't torture this man with the FT101. So thank you very much. I'll do the mods, and I appreciate it. KC9VKV, November 8, Uniform Alpha X-ray 73, best 73 to you.
Roger, Mark. Just remember the additional space from that microphone that we've created. We've got gain compensated there now, and if you come back to where you were with that microphone, you'll be over the top. So you need to stay back off that mic. And that will be, when you go to YouTube for this recording, it'll be KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook will take you to this recording. So 73 Mark, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll see you hopefully next Friday if you get a chance. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Like net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Let's see, there was somebody calling, a station calling, I'm listening, try one more time.
Station calling, I'm listening, try one more time.
Delta Lima station, try it one more time, your call sign slowly phonetically.
Try it one more time, your call sign slowly phonetically.
Kilo, India, Lima, Delta, Lima. What's the number?
Lima, Delta, Lima. What's the number?
Kilo, India, 5, Lima, Delta, Lima, 5, Roger.
Yes, sir. My 5 melted into my Lima. Bad trouble there with my 5 melting into my Lima. What's the name there?
Trouble there with my 5 melting into my Lima. What's the name there?
The name is Terry. Tango, Echo, Romeo, Yankee, Kilo, India, 5, Lima, Delta, Lima,
All right, Terry, I'm going to try to find a better path for us. Why don't you tell me the best about your antenna system for about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
About 10 or 15 seconds, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Well, I'm on the inset.
Okay, Terry, I think you hit your VFO. Reset your VFO. We're at 7.18800.
7.18800.
Yeah, Terry, do you got a copy now?
Yeah, Terry, do you got a copy now?
Hey, Terry, Lima, Delta, Lima. This is KC9VKV. Check your VFO. We're on 7188, Roger.
KV, check your VFO. We're on 7188, Roger.
KC9VKV, Terry, check your VFO, 7188.
Yeah, Terry, check your VFO, 7188.
My band on this end is really terrible. I can barely hear you now, Roger.
Yes, sir. I don't think we're going to be able to make it work. I do not have a good recording on you now. You're down to about a half a dB over my local antenna noise level. So I don't expect that's gonna change much. Roger, Roger.
I don't expect that's gonna change much. Roger, Roger.
This frequency is in use. The frequency is in use. Frequency is in use. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I'm getting a bunch of splatter. I'm getting a bunch of splatter. So I think we're going to call it a day. I think we are going to call it a day because it's just we got them. So anyway, I'm going to leave you folks with the splatter. I'm going to go fishing. This is KC9VKV. And we will be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor is clear.
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor is clear.